Chicos, today I am coming to you from Valencia, Spain. Valencia is located on the eastern side of the country. Spain is actually a peninsula which has water around three sides, and I'm on the eastern side on the Mediterranean coast. So the water behind me, if we were to jump in it and could float off, we would actually end up in Italy or France. But the Mediterranean coast goes around several different countries. It could take you to Greece, for example, and then all the way to Israel. The Mediterranean coast is very nice. I live on the western side of the country where it's actually probably a little chilly there right now. Not cold, but a little bit chilly, like maybe 60s. I'm coming to you now from Valencia, Spain. Valencia is known for paella. That's maybe one Spanish food you've heard of. And paella is some yellow rice dish that they have with seafood in it. Quite good. I recommend it if you ever have the chance to try it. There's also a black rice paella that I like even better. The reason the rice is black is because some of the fish from it has ink, and the ink dyes it black, but it's still regular rice. It's not burnt or anything like that. So that's just a little cultural tidbit about Valencia and where we are. And so I thought it might be a nice background for you guys to enjoy. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the seasons, and we're also going to talk about the months of the year. So let's jump into that. Now you may hear a little bit more background noise today since I'm outside, but anyway, it'd be a nice thing to look at. And it is actually really hot out here. So really, really hot. Okay. All right, so let's start with the seasons. All right. Boy. Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on around me. But anyway, so we've got las estaciones. Okay, so las estaciones del año are the seasons of the year. Okay, so you want to write these down in your notebook or on a piece of paper. So the seasons of the year. Now this part of Spain that we're talking about, I don't think that it gets 4 seasons. It probably gets 2. And I don't think it gets that cold here, probably not below 60. Where I live, it gets much colder. But anyway, we're going to talk about the seasons. So the first one that we're going to do is la primavera. If you think about pasta primavera, if you've ever heard of that, primavera is spring. Okay? La means the. So la primavera, spring. Then we have el verano, which is everybody's favorite season, summer. Okay? And then we have otoño, which is fall or autumn, whichever you want to call it. And then winter, probably your least favorite, el invierno, which is winter. Okay? So we have, remember our vowel sounds, a, e, I, o, u. So we have la primavera, el verano, el otoño, el invierno. Okay, so those are our seasons. Okay, so then we're going to work on the months of the year, los meses del año. Okay, now, if you remember with the days of the week, we do not capitalize those, nor do we capitalize the months of the year. Probably not the seasons either. So let's get into the months of the year. Some of them will look like English, which will be convenient. Some of them will not. But let's start with the first one, which is enero. Okay? Remember, the E is always never E sound, so enero. So I did not capitalize that, but of course in English I will. And then February would be febrero. Okay. And then we have marzo. Remember, there is no Z sound in Spanish. It's not marzo. Okay, the Z doesn't exist. So the Z should sound like an S, marzo. Okay, like I pronounce it with a TH, but that's because that's how people speak in Spain, marzo. But for the purposes of our class, marzo. Okay, March. And then abril. And then the next one is not mayo, okay, like short for mayonnaise, no. It's mayo, mayo. And then for June, we have junio. And then for July, we have Julio, which is also a man's name, Julio, but July. Then we have agosto. Okay, not Augusto, agosto. August. Okay, then we have septiembre. For septiembre, let's see if I can fix that a little bit better. All right. We'll do the Burr months over here. So let's see. Ay, madre mia. Yeah, we'll just move those. Vale. Okay, here we go. So, septiembre, which would be September. Okay? So the IE is IE, septiembre. Then we have octubre for October, octubre. November, noviembre. And the last one is similar, but not exactly the same. Diciembre. Okay? Diciembre. So we have enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Okay? So those are our months of the year. We did the seasons, the months of the year. Let's talk about a few speaking phrases that we can add. So we could say, ¿Qué día es hoy? So let's write this down. What day is today? All right? And the way we would say that, like today is Wednesday, we would say es miércoles. Okay? Es miércoles. All right? We talked about the weather. What's the weather like? ¿Qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like? So memorize these phrases. What's the weather like? And where I am, it's very hot. So I would say, hace calor. Okay? Hace calor. Okay? It is not cold. No hace frío. Okay? Now, another question we're going to add is when is your birthday? So the CU is cu, and then we add an A. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Now, we haven't learned the numbers yet, so we'll just say the month. Like we could say, like in my case, en enero. Okay, when is your birthday? And I'll say in January. Okay, so we should have some worksheets. We weren't able to complete the one the other day on the time and the seasons and the days of the week. But we will complete those at this point. So every day you should be looking over your vocabulary a little bit, learning the days of the week: lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Then also the months of the year: enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Okay, learning those. It's hot, hace calor. It's cold, hace frío. Okay, it's sunny. It's a very sunny day where I am. Hace sol. Okay, it's not too windy today. Yesterday was a little windier. Hace viento. Okay, so these are our our months of the year, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Nos vemos. Hasta luego.